All right. So we started reading this eighth point or eighth chakra. The characteristic of this chakra is developing this surrender. We're going to talk in detail about surrender. What is surrender? You know, so when this topic comes in the reading, I'll elaborate on what surrender really means and how we perceive and what is the real aspect of real idea of surrender. We're going to read about it. So, from awe to surrender, the feeling of the wonder, that somehow the feeling of this wonder is one of the characteristic of the spiritual seeker, I would say. And from many, uh, what should I say, backgrounds, this feeling of wonder was a constant thing. The awe. I mean, every condition we go through, it creates that wonderness or this aspect of it is not overwhelming. Wonder is not overwhelming, but it is something, when you look at something wonderful, beautiful, the the feeling which comes is that awe. When we go deeper into ourselves, this awe, this wonder happens at a very small things because now we are appreciating the creation, we are cherishing that creation. So to me, the true meaning of wonder is that cherishment, cherishing, cherishing everything, cherishing the wind, the atmosphere around us, the nature around us, even small, small things, right? The birds chirping, everything creates that awness, that wonderness in us when we are deeply connected, rooted in that remembrance. Okay, so let's read this. This shift in focus from the lower self to the higher self is the beginning of surrender. It's a grand epoch in your consciousness and a worthy goal to strive for. I use the word surrender, but in the yogic tradition, the actual word is sharanagati or prapatti. So, whenever you hear this word gati, means movement. Gati means journey. Gati can also be a path. So that's why the surrender is not something which is fixed. Surrender is something which is moving towards the goal. That's what the Sharanagati means. So it is a state of loving dependence and reverential and joyful acceptance of all that comes your way in life. So in a state of surrender, I said this so many times. Surrender truly means becoming totally independent. Surrender does not mean you become submissive. Surrender does not mean you lose your independence. That's how we perceived it. But the real aspect of surrender is where you become totally independent. Yet, you are connected with that higher goal. You're always approaching that goal. So there is one pointedness at the same time is there is a broader aspect. That's what surrender means. So you can think of surrender as letting go of the limited self and its bondage. So from the eighth chakra on, your journey is one of the letting go. To climb the ladder, you let go the lower step so you can go higher. The trees let go the leaves to make a way for new ones. The flowers let go the seeds and in turn create meadows filled with blossoms. You too arrive at more sublimate states of consciousness only because you have let go of previous ones. Letting go means make decisions in favor of growth and implementing those decisions with love. This letting go also, kind of we exaggerate in mentally. Suppose if I'm on a journey, look up when as a kid, when you're looking outside, especially when we are going in the trains in our childhood, you're looking outside. The trees are passing by, lakes are passing by, uh, and there's, towns are passing by. The journey is happening. Am I letting go every tree I am seeing outside the window? When I am in a journey, automatically this letting go is happening. I'm not doing anything. I'm not putting any effort to let go. If there is a journey, then it's happening. If I'm not in that journey, then letting go becomes a very conscious effort. Do you get it? Why? Because I have to let go because it's not I have to let go. It will automatically drop because I am moving. That is why the gati means the movement. You get it? So, like in the Bible, it says, this too shall pass. It will pass if you are moving towards the goal. Otherwise, we are holding on to it, brooding over it, and a useless, a futile effort to make something out of it. Then we are neither cherishing, we are not at wonder, we are not letting it go. We are stuck. But if we are in a moment, in a journey towards the goal, things drop by themselves. In India, there's one comedy scene in a movie, right? So there is one very powerful, strong villain is trying to, abuse the people in the village, and this one coward guy, he holds his wife's hand. He says, "You let me go so that I can take care of this guy." And he keeps shouting, let me go so that I can take care of this guy. And the wife says, "You are the one holding my hand. You have to let go." And typically, that's the scenario in our life too. We are holding on to it, so we have to let go. So, this letting go process is a very natural one. It is not something we have to put an effort, and it becomes natural, like I said, when you are in the moment, moving towards the goal. So, letting go means making decisions in favor of growth and implementing those decisions with love. As you evolve, you let go all of the baggage you are carrying. By baggage, I mean emotional baggage of prejudices, anger, jealousy, guilt, likes and dislikes, and anything else that burdens the soul. Some baggage you let go of through the cleaning process. The cleaning process we do in the evening, right? The heartfulness cleaning. So the rest of you hand over to the Guru and you move onward. In the yatra means journey. In the journey, the Guru takes over the baggage, provided you allow it. Surrender is nothing but handing over the baggage to the guru so you can travel light in the journey. This travel light, the baggage, I'll tell you a funny story. So there is this, people go to these pilgrimages in India. So they're supposedly they think themselves as saints and evolved people, and it's a long train journey. So one guy gets into the journey with a heavy luggage on his head, and he gets into the train, and he's still holding his luggage on his head. The people say, "Why are you holding the luggage on your head when you can put it down?" So he says, "I don't want to add weight to the train." So everyone laughs. Then, so this guy is supposedly an enlightened person and he's trying to teach a lesson to the people in the train. He says, "You're going to the pilgrimage. Just like me, you are holding your heavy baggage on your head. The baggage of, prejudice, anger, emotional imbalances, so many things, sufferings. And you are going to the pilgrimage. Why don't you put all your burdens also down? Because you are on the journey and the God is going to take care of it already." Right? The same thing. Just like, and when people laughed at him when he's carrying the luggage on his head to lessen the weight on the train, we are also unnecessarily holding our luggage, our baggage. We need to put them down because we are all in a moving train. This life is a journey. In this moving train, we can travel light just by letting go, keep all the burdens on the side. Then you can address them in a fashion we, take care of our external luggages. So the inner luggage, we have to somehow put it on this moving train. And who is carrying this train? It is the God Himself. So that's why that letting go this luggage is also an act of surrender. So prior to the eighth chakra, there was a lot of pushing and pulling to surrender. This is understandable since the ego needs to latch on to something for its survival. But as you refine and sublimate that ego, the process of letting go unfolds naturally. Like I said, if anything is troublesome and hard, difficult to do it, we are not doing it the right way. You know. So it is we have to recognize and realize how we can simply become submissive, develop this remembrance through meditation. Only contemplative mind can develop that remembrance. Once that happens, all this surrender is a very natural process. We let go things very naturally. We don't have to put any effort. Just like in the train journey, we are letting go all the scene which we are looking at outside the window. It's happening by itself, right? So religions have used symbolism to indicate this idea. Lord Krishna surrounded by cows. The cows are content letting go of their worries of sustenance and survival. They know the cowherd. Like in the Bible also they say shepherd. It's the same concept. Who led them to the so they will know that the cowherd who led them to the pasture will lead them back to the stable. Lord Jesus holding the lamb in his arms depicts a similar vision of a good shepherd protecting the flock, now settled in the caring embrace of God. So that becomes our state too. Everything seems just as it should be. There is decreasing separation between the soul and the source. Your single minded attention is now set on the goal, the center. So far, your devotion, your effort, and strength moved you forward. But awe makes you realize why struggle when I am being lovingly carried. So awe leads to surrender, which leads you to wisdom. So this is surrender, and like once the Chariji, the previous teacher of heartfulness, said, all the seekers must be independent, like independently standing trees in the forest. So they are, in a way, their survival, their existence depend on this air and water. Interestingly, the bigger trees don't live on the water so much. They, in fact, convert everything from the air. All the required sustenance comes from the air in bigger trees. So we have to stand independent and take the sustenance from this transmission we receive as part of meditation and sustain by that. So that is basically what surrender is. Okay. I'll stop here for any comments, questions. Otherwise, we can get into meditation.